Hey, HOA Karen Files posse, it's your girl with a tail that'll knock your socks off. Picture Concord, North Carolina, where Hank Larson, a 70-year-old Navy vet, guards his fence like a fortress. But on January 10th, 2026, a fake HOA cop and Karen Gibbs tried to tear it down with a $2,800 fine. Big oops, they didn't know Hank's a bulldog. This one's stuffed with guts, laughs, and a small-town smackdown you'll eat up. If you're hooked on Karen's getting schooled, hang tight. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join our squad. Let's hit 1,000 subs. Comment. Ever had a Karen beef with your fence? Let's tear into it. I'm Hank Larson, 70, and Concord, North Carolina, is my kind of town. It's a burg of 16,000 where the diner's biscuits are fluffy and porch yarns spin till midnight. My granddaughter, Mia, 17, is my spark ponytail high, always in hoodies, snapping pics for her Snapchat like it's her job. Grandpa, your fence is goals, she says, framing my cedar planks. Goals? Kid, it's my line in the sand. My spot on Maple Drive is a gray bungalow, lawn tight as a ship's deck. The backyard fence, 6 feet of cedar I built in '94, stands proud, shielding my grill, hammock, and Navy flag. It's where I sip coffee, teach me a knots, and dodge the world's noise. This fence is my piece, I tell her, checking its posts, my Navy cap weathered. She posts it, captioning Grandpa's fort sleighs. Sleighs? I just want it standing. January 10th, 2025, was chilly, 65 degrees, sky gray, a breeze sharp with pine and frost. I'd planned to grill brats, strum my guitar, and swap tales with my pal, Leroy, 72, who calls my fence Concord's Castle. Mia was out back, snapping Grandpa's vibe check, hoodie loose. Neighbors waved, Miss June with her tea, Old Ray with his beagle. Concord's family like that. I was sanding a post when tires crunched hard. A green pickup rolled up, Concord HOA standards slapped on in letters flakier than pie crust. Out jumped a guy, Neil Pratt, 39, lanky, with a badge shinier than his fake grin. He waved a clipboard, hollering, Hank Larson? That fence is non-compliant, $2,800 fine. Unapproved height. Pay up, or we're ripping it down. Rip it down? My fence? I dropped my sandpaper, heart pounding like a drum. HOA, I said, brushing dust, my flannel heavy. Maple Drive's never had one. This is my plot, clear since '88. Mia froze, phone down. Eyes locked on me like I'd fix it fast. Neil tossed a notice at my boots, slick, but typos and a smudged seal screamed fraud. New rules, he sneered, arms crossed. Cash or card, or your wall's gone. Wall? My fence? I'd sailed storms. This joker's badge didn't scare me. Neighbors peeked, Miss June's tea steaming, Ray's beagle yipping. I grabbed the notice, hand steady, but inside, I was a squall. At 70, I dodged torpedoes, raised 3 girls, kept this fence solid. No way I'd let it fall. You're not touching it, I said, voice like steel, staring Neil down. He smirked, badge flashing. Good luck, sailor. Mia's phone crept up, snapping, and I knew this wasn't a fine. It was a siege, and I was ready to man the guns. I was itching to snap Neil's clipboard like driftwood when Mia tugged my sleeve. Grandpa, chill, he's filming, she whispered, nodding at a stocky guy in the pickup, phone up like a dime store spy. My fence stood firm, cedar gleaming, but my temper roared. No one's tearing it down, Mia, I said, squeezing her hand. Inside, I was a gale. Neil wasn't just after my fence. He was trampling my turf, and I'd fight to my last knot. You're on my land, I barked, stepping up, my Navy cap low. Take your scam and shove off. Neil's grin held, but he flung another notice, this one hitting my grill. $2,800, or we bulldoze that junk, he said, pointing at my fence like it had cursed him. Junk? My stronghold? Neighbors gasped, Miss June's tea shaking, Ray muttering, clown. Mia's phone stayed up, her voice low. This is sketch, Grandpa. Sketch? This was piracy. Then the pickup door creaked, and out strutted Karen Gibbs, 51, Concord's self-anointed dictator. Auburn bob stiff as a plank, 10 like a bad spray, blazer screaming, I'm boss. Karen blew in last fall, pushing strip malls to choke Maple Drive's soul. She'd griped Ray about his beagle, nagged Miss June's porch swing, even called my fence tacky. Nobody bought her noise, but Karen could nag a shark into leaving. Hank Larson, Karen cooed, gripping a megaphone like she ran Carolina. Her voice was syrupy, like a scam text promising cruises. This fence breaks Concord's code's $2,800 fine, payable now, or my officer levels it. Officer? Neil looked like he'd flunked mall security. I snatched the notice, scanning same typos, same junk seal. You're no HOA, I said, shredding it. Pieces floating like chaff. Get off my property, Karen. Neighbors hooped, Ray's beagle barking, Miss June clapping. Mia zoomed in, whispering, "This is fire." Fire? Try broadside. Karen hoisted her megaphone, voice blaring. All residents fined $1,100 each for defiance. Leave, or lose your lots. Lots? Miss June's cup hit her porch, Ray cursed, and Mia gripped my arm. She's lying, right? Lying? Karen was a pirate, and my fence was her loot. Enough. I thundered, my voice rattling the hammock. You're spooking my street, Scram. Karen's eyes flickered, but she signaled Neil, start cutting now. Neil grabbed a saw, badge flapping, and neighbors yelled, no dice. I stepped up, ready to deck him, when Leroy's tractor roared in, dust flying like a nor'easter. Leroy Vance, 72, swung off, overalls patched, boots muddy, eyes like a hawk's. He didn't glance at Karen, just stomped to me, thermos in hand. Hank, what's this garbage? He growled, eyeing the pickup like it had keyed his rig. I pointed at Karen, megaphone gleaming, blazer drenched. She's faking HOA, Leroy. Wants $2,800 to spare my fence. Leroy's laugh was a cannon, deep, fearless. HOA? Karen Gibbs, you're faker than a shore leave Rolex. Neighbors roared, laughter, cheers, Ray hollering, sinker. Karen's megaphone dipped, her tan paling, and Neil dropped the saw, muttering, we're sunk. Mia grinned at me. We got her, Grandpa. Got her? Kid, we were about to board Karen's scam and burn it. Leroy's laugh shook Maple Drive, and Karen's megaphone stunt was crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide. Leroy Vance, you're obstructing. Karen screeched, waving her megaphone like it'd save her con. Obstructing? Lady, you just woke a sailor. Neighbors were hooked, Miss June filming, Ray's beagle howling. Mia kept snapping, whispering, this is viral, Grandpa. Viral? My fence was the hill, and I was holding it. I stood tall, navy cap firm. Karen, you're a crook, and a loud one, I said, pointing at her pickup's tacky logo. Maple Drive's free. I checked the deed in '02. I'd fought a shed dispute back then, got the county stamp. Neighbors cheered, Ray yelling, nail her, Hank. Karen's megaphone sagged, but she fired back. You're all fined $5,500 now. The crowd jeered, Miss June shouting, beat it. Mia flashed her phone. Grandpa, she's toast. Gibbs Realty, busted for scams in Raleigh, 2024. Gold $14,000 fine, fake permits. She's a fraud. I roared, waving Mia's screen. Neighbors passed it, gasping, Ray growling, she hit my cousin. Karen's jaw dropped, but Neil stepped up, badge gleaming. Zip it, vet, or you're done. Done. Leroy snapped, slamming his thermos. You're not cops, you're Karen's deckhands. He scrolled his phone, old Navy group chat open. I texted Sheriff Cal Brooks from poker. He's onto you, Gibbs. Sheriff Cal, 64, was a shipmate, gray mustache, boots like anchors, once tossed a prowler off my deck. Karen's megaphone hit her hip, her smirk gone, and Neil hissed, we're screwed. Sure enough, Cal's cruiser rolled in, lights flashing, siren barking once. Cal stepped out, chewing a toothpick, eyeing Neil like a bad knot. Badges, he drawled, hand on his belt. Neil fumbled, handing over a card that could have been a bar tab. His buddy's was fake, printed last month. Cal chuckled, pulling cuffs. Fraud, impersonation, trespassing. Y'all are scuttled. The crowd erupted, hoots, claps, Ray chanting, anchors away. Karen lunged for her pickup, keys clanking, yelling about harassment. Miss June, 73, shuffled in front, tea raised. Not so fast, honey. She snapped, and neighbors closed ranks, phones up. Cal raised a brow at Karen. Run, and it's worse, he said, radio crackling. Karen slumped, blazer sagging, her scam shipwrecked. Neil whined in the cruiser. Karen swore it was tight. Tight? My fence begged to differ. I grabbed my hammer, tapped a post, cedar solid. This stays, I said, saluting the flag. Mia posted it, snapping live. Viral, Grandpa? Damn right. By dusk, 70 neighbors showed, brats grilling, beers cold, Ray's beagle napping. We sang Sweet Caroline, Mia's post hitting 5,000 views. Cole tipped his hat. Good scrap, Hank. At 70, I'd never stood taller. My fence, my town, my win. Mia hugged me, phone glowing. You're a king. King? Kid, I'm just a sailor who loves his yard. Man, Concord stood tall and sank Karen's scam deep. Hank and Mia turned a fence fight into pure legend. Talk about Navy grit. If this got you pumped, smash that like and spill in the comments. Ever had a Karen hate your fence? HOA Karen Files is your doc for scam-busting heroes. So hit subscribe and ring that bell for more takedowns. Next week, we've got a vet torching a fake HOA over his shed. Oh, it's a banger. Thanks for rolling with us. You champs. Share this with your mates. And let's keep Karen scrambling. Catch you soon.